I'm building a team of the biggest transfer flops in football history. We've got a striker that cost 127 million euros, but only scored 25 goals. A winger that cost 120 million euros, but turned up to pre-season training completely out of shape. And there's one club who's had more high-profile transfer flops than I've had hot dinners. We're going to start by getting a right winger. There's Anthony, cost Man United 95 million euros, didn't really do much apart from create many memes about himself. Nicolas Pepe cost Arsenal 80 million, pretty much injured the whole time, and ended up leaving on a free transfer. And Ousmane Dembele, who went to Barcelona for 135 million euros, he didn't really do much, did he? So I've spun the wheel, and whoever it lands on, I am going to buy for my team. That, my friends, is good news because he is the highest rated card and he's got 5-star skill moves and 5-star weak foot. So I'm going to buy him for nearly 500,000 coins and he is the first player into our squad. Now, my goal of the video is to prove that these players are not flops. So I'll be playing a game with a completed team and I must win because if I don't, I'll be discarding all of them because they'll deserve it. Next, we're going to get a striker. And this is our first wheel of strikers. Antoine Griezmann, when he joined Barcelona for 120 million euros for Atletico Madrid. But it didn't really go to plan, did it? And he went back to Atletico Madrid 2 years later. He flopped. João Felix, 127 million euros from Benfica to Atletico Madrid. He only managed 25 goals in 3 years before they eventually loaned him to Chelsea. That means they paid about 5 million euros per goal he scored. And the final player on this one, Lukaku. I mean, he's had a few flops, hasn't he? The flop we're talking about today is where he went from Inter Milan to Chelsea for 113 million euros because he had unfinished business. Well, all I can say about that is that business is still unfinished, Lukaku. Let's spin it and see who we are. Griezmann's the one I want. I love Griezmann and his left foot. He has got a beautiful left foot. Ooh, 92 rated greasers. Oh my word. He's expensive. He's 1.3 million coins. But he does have the finesse shot playstyle plus, which is, as you know, something I love. We're going to put him up front on the right side so we can bend them in to the top bins with his left foot, right? Nearly 2 million coins on the line already that I don't want to have to discard if they lose. Now, we're going to come to our other striker later where we have a completely separate wheel with 3 massive transfer flops. But now we're going to get our centre mid. Our wheel of centre mids has got many a name that you will definitely know, but some might surprise you. You remember Donny van de Beek? Joined Man United for about 40 million euros after some really impressive seasons at Ajax. Things didn't really work out, did they? He was there for 4 years and only made 62 appearances. I think it's a shame. He was talented. You got Bakayoko, who joined Chelsea from Monaco in 2017 for 40 million euros, which was a huge amount of money back then. He actually managed 82 more appearances on loan from Chelsea than he did playing for Chelsea. Joan Sebastian Veron, the icon. Man United signed him in 2001 from Lazio for 42 million euros, right? It was a British record signing fee at the time. 2 years later, Man United sold him to Chelsea for half the price they paid for him. And our first player that we have to put into our squad is Donny van de Beek. I can live with that. He's nearly got 80 in every stat. So I'm going to buy him for 16,000 coins and slot him in the team. And once again, for our other centre mid, we've got another wheel with 3 more massive transfer flops. But for now, we're going to get a right back. First up, we have Matt Doherty. Went from Wolves to Spurs for 16 million. Things didn't really work out under Conte, so he was allowed to leave on a free transfer to Atletico Madrid. But after 2 appearances and only 16 minutes, he was back as a free transfer and he went back to Wolves. Wan-Bissaka joined Manchester United from Crystal Palace in 2019 for 55 million euros. But he just never really lived up to the expectations of that transfer fee. And in the end, they sold him to West Ham in 2024 for only 18 million euros. And finally, Emerson Royal. Now, this is a funny one. In the summer of 2021, Emerson Royal was sold from Betis to Barcelona for about 14 million euros. And then literally weeks later, Barcelona sold him to Spurs for about 24 million euros, right? He obviously didn't impress if he was there for 3 weeks, but he made a nice bit of profit. And then his second transfer flop is that he struggled to adapt to Spurs, so they ended up selling him to Milan for 14 million. Let's see who's going to be a right back. Now, the problem is none of these are great for our team and trying to win a game with it, especially when I spin Doherty. Great. 67 pace as a right back. So let's buy him and chuck him into the squad. A weak defense is not what we need when everyone gets discarded if I lose. Centre back. On our first wheel, we have Wesley Fofana, who was sold by Leicester City for 80 million euros to guess who? Can you guess who? Chelsea, back in 2022. They massively overpaid, probably double his market value, therefore flop. Mangala's next for his move from Porto to Manchester City in 2014 for 45 million euros. Back then, that was massive. And eventually, they replaced him with Nicolas Otamendi and ended up leaving the club in 2019 on a free. Finally, we've got Calvin Bassey. He joined Ajax from Rangers in 2022 for reportedly 23 million euros, which is the second highest fee in Eredivisie transfer history. But he didn't really play well, and by the end of the season, he was on the bench. The only good news for Ajax is they were able to sell him to Fulham for pretty much the price they paid for him. And once again, guys, the other centre-back position will have 3 other transfer flops, okay? Ooh, we're getting the most expensive one. Fofana. 78 rated. That is terrible, isn't it? I'm going to be conceding goals left, right, and centre. Everyone's got like 93 rated strikers right now. Goalkeeper. First up, Kepa, the world's most expensive goalkeeper. In 2018, he went from Athletic Club to Chelsea for 80 million euros. What were they doing? 80 million. Now, he wasn't instantly bad. He just kind of sloped off his performances. He's got that infamous moment in 2019 where he refused to be subbed. Like, literally turned around and was like, no, you're not subbing me. That was in the Carabao Cup final as well, I think. Next is Luis Maximiano. Now, I've not heard of this one. In 2022, went from Granada to Lazio for around 10 million euros and had one of the worst debuts you could ever imagine. 6 minutes into the match against Bologna, he rushes outside of his box and handles the ball. He gets sent off and he hasn't made another Serie A appearance for Lazio since. And finally, we've got Steve Mandanda, who joined Crystal Palace from Marseille on a free transfer. Like, how can that be a flop if it's a free? Well, he conceded 17 goals in 9 matches and no clean sheets. And he ended up going back to Marseille and started performing really well again. Let's spin it and see what we get. I mean, either way, we're not getting a fantastic goalkeeper, are we? Like, fantastic. Man like Mandanda, man like Mandanda. So let's buy him and put him into the team. We're back to get our other centre-back, and here are 3 more transfer flops. Let's start with Harry Maguire. In 2019, Manchester United bought him from Leicester City for around 87 million euros. He's just never lived up to it, Man United. And for that price tag, you'd expect one of the best centre-backs in the world. Next is Koulibaly. Guess who bought Koulibaly? Yeah, Chelsea. From Napoli for 42 million euros in 2022. He wasn't great. Not at all. They ended up selling him at the end of that season to Al Hilal for a massive loss. Now, this final one, Skriniar, he went from Inter Milan to PSG in 2023 on a free transfer. And unfortunately, he hasn't managed to recreate his dominance he had in Serie A. Lots of, not the best performances, but also lots of injuries. You'd expect more. Our second defender is going to be the 87 million euro man himself. Oh, look at that card. 37 pace. 37. You know what? I am going to show you what Harry Maguire's made of in this game. Now, we've still got hundreds of millions of wasted transfer money to come, including the player that was 120 million and turned up for pre-season out of shape. Our left backs, you have Mark Cucurella, signed by guess who? Chelsea for 65 million euros. Brighton must have been smiling all the way to the bank with that one. I wouldn't say he's lived up to 65 million euros, would you? So that's a flop. So Gino Dest, he joined Barcelona from Ajax in 2020 for 21 million euros. But he just never really cut it, did he? Went on loan to AC Milan, didn't really do much, and now he's just gone on a free to PSV. That rhymes. And finally, you got Lucas Digne when he went from PSG to Barcelona for 16 million in 2016. He's only there for a couple of years and didn't really make many appearances because, of course, Barcelona had the legend Jordi Alba. And eventually, they sold him to Everton. I don't care about any of that. I just want the best one for my team. Oh, Digne's not terrible. He's the quickest. So I'm going to buy his Team of the Week card for 33,000 coins and whack him into the squad. Here is our other centre mid transfer flop wheel. We're going to start with Lo Celso, who joined Spurs from Real Betis in 2019. The fee was a bit undisclosed. It was between maybe 30, somebody said 40 million, others said 50 million, but it was a huge amount of money. But his performances on the pitch definitely did not live up to the price tag, and he even blocked a Twitter account that made videos showcasing all of his mistakes. If I was a footballer, I just wouldn't go on Twitter. Calvin Phillips, the man Manchester City signed for 45 million euros in 2022, but he hasn't really done much, has he? Struggled to make it into the first team. He's had multiple loan spells, and he's currently at Ipswich trying to get himself some game time, which I respect. And finally, James Rodriguez. This guy had like the best World Cup ever for Colombia in 2014. And after that, Real Madrid bought him for 75 million euros. And his first season wasn't bad. He got 17 goals as a cam. But after that, it just plummeted. When Zidane joined as manager, he just didn't get any game time. He had numerous loan spells before eventually going on a free to Everton. And as we're spinning to see which flop I get, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel, please. The worst card on the wheel. Fantastic. Calvin Phillips. So let's buy him and put him into the team. I'm going to concede so many goals. On to our left wingers, and there's a lot of money on this wheel. Jack Grealish, 100 million to Man City from Villa. I love Jack Grealish as well. I think he is such a nice, humble guy. Jadon Sancho, another one. I love him. I think he was such a good player at Dortmund. Then it all doomed to failure when he went to Man United for around 80 million euros. Neymar went to Al Hilal for 90 million euros. PSG must have been like, thank you very much. He's been pretty much injured all season. They ended up letting him go on a free, and he's now back at Santos. Eden Hazard. For once, it wasn't Chelsea buying, it was Chelsea selling to Real Madrid. They bought him for 120 million euros in 2019. It seemed doomed from the moment he turned up to pre-season training and looked completely out of shape. And in the 4 years he was at Madrid, he only made 76 appearances because he was injured all the time. And finally, another Chelsea signing is Modric. He cost them 70 million in 2023. Who are we getting for our team? Better not be Modric, because he's the worst card on there. I'll take a bit of Jack Grealish. Definitely take. Have you seen the size of his cards, by the way? They're massive. I can't buy that Jack Grealish card. These don't make me use his base one. Oh, it was a season objective I didn't do. And the one in my club is a loan that's run out. So I'm going to have to use his base card. Hey, I'm still going to show you what Jack Grealish is all about. Final player, then it's game time. If I lose, I'll be discarding all of them. And we've got about 2 million coins on the line. Our final 3 striker transfer flops. We're going to start with Morata. He has played for so many clubs in his time. And Chelsea signed him for 66 million euros from Real Madrid. Then he only managed 16 Premier League goals for Chelsea in the next 18 months, before eventually being sold in 2020 for 30 million euros. Kolo Muani joined PSG for 95 million euros from Frankfurt. Unfortunately, he only got 11 goals in 54 appearances. So they've sent him out on loan to Juventus. And finally, it is Fernando Torres, his transfer from Liverpool to Chelsea in 2011, which cost Chelsea 58.5 million euros. At Liverpool, Torres was incredible, 81 goals in 142 appearances. But for Chelsea, he only managed 45 goals in 172 appearances. And eventually, he was sold to AC Milan for 1 million euros. So our final player, before I need to prove that they aren't flops, is going to be, of course, it is going to be Alvaro, 83 rated Morata. So let's put him in the team, and it's game time. Well, their team's a lot better than mine, isn't it? Donny van der Beek, a volley outside of the box. Oh, Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire. Ah, Griezmann nestles this. How is he a flop? Fofana. Where's your marking, son? Oh, well done, man. No way. Oh my God, we definitely got Crystal Palace Mandanda, didn't we? What? Oh no. All right, currently discarding 2 million coins worth of players. Fantastic. Oh, that's good. Over kick it. Oh, hey! Come on! Mandanda is the worst keeper in this entire game. I'd do better if I was in goal myself. Oh no, Mandanda's definitely let that in. He is absolutely garbage. I don't want to discard these. Griezmann. Oh, come on. I mean, you could shoot from there and he'll let it in. Oh my God, Mandanda saved something. Hallelujah. Dembele. Oh, that's good. Griezmann. Oh my God. These two are not flops. They're insane. Well, let's just get the dub now. Harry Maguire all the way. Imagine the scenes. Imagine the scenes. Could you imagine the scenes? Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes. Morata scores. Come on. No. Oh my God. Come on. We got to hold on for 8 minutes. Get the winner. How did you miss that so badly, Griezmann? Well done. Game, set, and match. The flops are flops no more. Now, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to watch some more content. There's a video on your screen. Just got to click it.